So hey guys, the series name is What If Naruto Have Perfect Chakra Control During Chunin Exam. This is second part of the series, so let's start the series. Kurenai gave the team rest for 2 days, but Naruto had to undergo his evaluation the next day. He reached the TI department as Kurenai instructed on time. She was waiting for him and led him to a windowless room. Yamanaka Inoichi was sitting in a chair with a pad in his hand. Kurenai sat in a chair beside him and offered the comfy couch to Naruto. After Inoichi introduced himself, Naruto asked, "Are you Ino's father?" Inoichi nodded and smiled. "She used to complain a lot about you after coming home from school. Hope that won't affect my evaluation." "Not at all," Inoichi replied with a smile and proceeded to ask Naruto several questions regarding his physical stats, his training regime and diet. "How is my training and diet related to this?" Naruto asked curiously. People may generally disassociate the body's condition from the mind, but most of the time there is a direct impact. If you train too hard without a proper diet, it may lead to depression, hormonal imbalance, and whatnot. For a healthy mind, you also need a healthy body and vice versa. Let's move on to a more serious topic, Naruto. What we are going to talk about will only be between us and the Hokage, so I need your complete honesty. Naruto did a ram seal and concentrated for a few moments. Inoichi only raised an eyebrow and didn't disturb him. Once Naruto confirmed that there were no eavesdroppers, he relaxed and said, "All right. How is your relationship with the Kyuubi?" Naruto looked at Kurenai, who just nodded. "There is no relationship. I tried to talk to him many times, but he is a broody bastard. He never talked. The first time I met him he tried to skewer me with his giant claw. That was cool. That was the only time I ever got a reaction out of him." "Cool," interrupted Kurenai. "Yeah. I wish I could see him in action. It would be awesome," Naruto said with a smile. Kurenai turned pale while Inoichi maintained a blank face. "Naruto, please tell me you are joking. You may have only seen the Kyuubi in its dormant state. That day when it attacked, what we saw was horrible. It was literal hell. It killed so many people. The malevolent chakra felt so evil." "Calm down, Kurenai-san," Inoichi interrupted in a stern voice. He waited for a few moments until she calmed down before continuing. "Naruto, why do you admire Kyuubi?" Naruto replied after a few moments of thinking. "Old man taught me the history behind the Kyuubi's imprisonment, and I did research of my own with Irika. Before the formation of the shinobi villages, there are no instances of the Bijou actively attacking any human settlements without provocation. The only recorded cases of clashes were when shinobi clans ventured into their territory or tried to tame them. They were minding their own business, just like any territorial predator. All that changed with Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. Both of them treated Bijou like objects of war. Why don't you put yourselves in their position? Imprisoned in a dark, damp prison cell for 100 years by what you consider greedy warmongers, what will you do when you escape from that prison? Say hello, how are you, to your jailers." Kurenai wanted to argue but didn't want to interrupt Inoichi. "You have a point there. But from your viewpoint you consider them equal to humans?" "No, I don't consider them equal to humans. They are superior, they are predators, we are prey. We only got the upper hand because of a few individuals' abilities. I hope you do know they are intelligent beings, Inoichi-san. I didn't encounter any other Bijou, only Kyuubi. He is a highly intelligent, patient being. He is strong enough to take on the whole of Konoha and win. It is only natural that I admire that strength." Kurenai was speechless. She doesn't have any argument to counter Naruto's logic. Inoichi processed Naruto's answer and asked again, "Do you hate or blame the first Hokage for your situation?" "I never met him. I don't know his personality enough to hate him. Yes, I definitely blame him for his short-sightedness, and his actions resulted in my parents' death." "What do you equate him to Uchiha Madara?" "Even from your angle showed I should be much better than him." "No, they are not much different from what I learned. They are shinobi, just much stronger than others. Nothing more." Naruto's voice was very clear. Inoichi scribbled on his notes for a minute and continued. "When can we expect for the Kyuubi's attack on Konoha?" "What?" Kurenai shouted and stood up facing Inoichi. "Calm down, Kurenai-san, maybe you should wait outside until I am done with Naruto," Inoichi reprimanded. Naruto ignored Kurenai's outburst and continued. "Yesterday, I am just a cage. When the cage breaks, all hell breaks loose." Inoichi was playing a game of words with Naruto. The question and answer may be simple, but the meaning behind them was several layers deep. Kurenai was reminded of Kyuubi killing her father. Her calmness was disturbed to properly grasp the conversation. Your mission report states that you dismembered about 50 thugs with your sword. Can you please elaborate your thoughts and feelings before the fight? Just try to paint me a picture. Naruto closed his eyes and slowly recreated the scene. I sensed a large number of civilian chakra signatures gathered in Gato's compound. I could see a dark fog surrounding them. I could also smell their stench of disgusting emotions. It was revolting. I felt that it was my duty to remove that evil from this world, so I did just that. Once I was done, the stench went away. The surrounding nature felt a little cleaner. Now it was Inoichi's face which revealed a stunned expression. You two wait here until I return, he hurriedly said and vanished from the room. There was an awkward silence between the student and teacher. Inoichi returned 15 minutes later with what looked like a very old leather tome. He placed it on the table carefully and opened it. He carefully turned a few pages and started reciting, when evil gathers in one place, the nine-tailed calamity will appear to purge and restore peace. This is an old recording from Yamanaka clan oracles several generations ago, even before Konoha. It is a collection of some obscure writings and prophecies. The clan only kept them because of sentimental value. This particular one was foretold by my grandfather's great-grandfather, when I studied it in my teenage years. My grandfather explained several of them to me. According to my ancestor, Kyubi descended to this world to purge all evil. I never thought I would see a prophecy coming true, and I thought it was completely wrong when Kyubi ravaged Konoha. Inoichi calmed himself down and said after a few moments, "Sorry, I am just rambling. Naruto, this may just be a coincidence. I studied the old tome a lot in my teenage years with my old grandpa. That's why I was just overexcited, and also because your words matched it. Prophecies are never straightforward, so do not take it literally. I can give you more answers about this after analyzing this further. Let's end this session for today. Naruto, can you return here tomorrow, same time?" he asked. After Naruto left, Inoichi and Kurenai went to Hiruzen. "Hokage-sama, I had a session with Naruto today. Usually I would give a consolidated report once I did a complete evaluation. But the current situation is different. Let me brief you about it." After Hiruzen nodded, Inoichi continued, "Naruto is very mature for his age. His emotional state is similar to that of an adult, and it is stable. There are no sociopathic or psychopathic tendencies. As of now, I don't think there is any influence from Kyubi on his mental state." Naruto confirmed that the seal is still strong, but we should let Jiraiya-sama check it. "Apart from this, there is another critical finding, and we need your input." Inoichi then explained about Naruto's sensing of negative emotions and his ancestor's prophecy. Hiruzen was in deep thought for a few minutes. Mito-sama once said that Kyubi can sense the malice in human society, and it developed a hatred towards us because of it. Every other Jinchuriki got a Kekkei Genkai or some ability from their respective Bijou. Naruto might have got this ability from Kyubi, Hiruzen said. "Inoichi, do not document your sessions with Naruto. Kurenai can be the only other person privy to this information. Kurenai, same for you. Do not record anything related to this in mission reports." Hiruzen continued, "I am not sure how to interpret your ancestor's prophecy. Inoichi, it may be far-fetched. Naruto is the only Jinchuriki of Kyubi with this ability, so it can be about him as well instead of the actual Bijou. But prophecies are tricky. We shouldn't read too much into them. Sometimes they might be contradictory and lead us on to take harmful decisions." He warned and dismissed them. Meanwhile, with Naruto, he returned home and tried to take a nap, but the prophecy was coming back into his thoughts, preventing him from sleep. He didn't think it was about him. What he told Inoichi was true. He didn't lie about anything. He was certain the ability to sense evil and negative emotions was his own. It was due to his own spiritual energy. Did the prophecy mean Kyubi or him? The stupid people of Konoha were already calling him a demon. It may very well be him. But he is not going to go around the world and take care of all evil people. If Kyubi has the same ability, he should have been able to do the same before he split his chakra, as Kyubi's chakra was leaking into him for a long time. After thinking some more, he gave up and thought, who cares about stupid prophecies? I have an ability. It is mine now and it is useful. I will just concentrate more on developing my spiritual energy. Naruto woke up late in the afternoon from his nap. His mind felt free. As he had moved on from the stupid prophecy stuff, he dived into his mindscape, instead of the usual sewer tunnel-like setting. Now he was in a room which looked like his living room, but much bigger. In the middle of the room hung a ball of blue liquid surrounded by a semi-transparent white gas swirling slowly. The blue liquid was Zabuza's spiritual energy, and the white gas surrounding it was Naruto's. When he first absorbed it, it was much bigger, now it was only half the size. Naruto's spiritual energy is slowly grinding it down and assimilating it. After absorbing about half, Naruto's sensing range increased by more than 50 meters. His emotion sensing is also stronger than before. On top of that, his control over water jutsu improved by a lot. Since his overall control improved a lot recently, he decided to concentrate more on the genjutsu that Kurenai taught. He started studying the scrolls and practicing it. He is slowly converting those techniques to work purely on his spiritual energy. Next day, again with Inoichi, Naruto laid down on the couch and made himself comfortable. Inoichi was scribbling on his notes. Naruto, you need not worry about the prophecy I mentioned yesterday. I shouldn't have said anything at all. It was unprofessional of me. I discussed it with Hokage-sama. He was of the opinion that your emotion sensing may be a Kekkei Genkai granted by the Bijou. Okay, Naruto replied lazily. Let's continue from where we left off yesterday. Inoichi continued to ask Naruto random questions like what he thought about the people of Konoha and people in general, some topics on philosophy, various shinobi arts. He also asked about the various people in his life. He covered a wide variety of unrelated subjects in just 2 hours. Naruto gave evasive answers to some questions, but he didn't lie. Once the session ended and Naruto was ready to leave, Inoichi-san, can you teach me about mind arts? He asked. May I know why? Human mind is a powerful thing and you seem to know a lot about it. I need to be able to protect my mind. Are you afraid of Kyuubi taking over your mind? Asked Inoichi. Yes, that was one of the reasons. Inoichi thought about it. Sure, but I need to take Kurenai's and Hokage-sama's permission. I am sure they won't mind, but it is a formality. If they don't object, I will first send you some material on the basics. Once you learn them, I will teach you personally. Naruto thanked him and left. Inoichi again reported to Hiruzen. I completed my session with Naruto. We don't have to worry about his mental health for now. I think your influence and interaction had a positive impact on him. He is close to Iruka and Kurenai. His view on most things is generally positive. From what I can tell, his emotional sensing might have made him unforgiving to people he considers evil. He has his own sense of justice. He admires strength but separates it from character. He asked me to teach him ways to protect his mind from Kyuubi. I need your permission, Hokage-sama. Granted. Hiruzen accepted without a second thought. He was super happy with the evaluation. Inoichi also consulted Kurenai about Naruto's request and got her permission as well. Teammates sat in their training ground. Kurenai was explaining about the upcoming Chunin exams. You might have already observed many foreign shinobi coming here. They are mainly exam candidates. Their teachers or escorts. It is hosted every 6 months. Konoha hosts it once every 3 years. She gave them the forms. You need a team of 3 genin to participate in the exam. If any one of you lacks the confidence to take part, then you can wait for the next exam. It is your choice. As a rookie team, you only did 1 mission outside of Konoha. Even though it was a rank, we came out of it relatively easily. I would say luck played a huge part in it. I was deeply analyzing what we did on our mission. We can't change anything now, but little introspection is always good. I should have done things differently from the start. Kurenai continued. When Tazuna revealed the danger involved, we should have retreated to Konoha and reported to Hokage-sama. Sensing a protest from Naruto, she raised a hand. I was not saying we should have abandoned him. We should have taken him back with us. I am sure Hokage-sama would have sent us back with backup. Naruto agreed by nodding. The second mistake was with you, Naruto. After disrupting Zabuza's missed technique, you rushed to engage him. What would have happened if the situation with the sword didn't occur? You attacked a cold-blooded killer who is much more skilled than you head-on without any plan. You need to control yourself. Genin teams are made to rely on teamwork until you pick the necessary skills and avoid loss of life. Kurenai completed her analysis. You are right, Sensei. At that moment I thought Zabuza was surprised by the disruption of his misjutsu. He was open. I reacted by instinct. I didn't consider the team. Naruto confessed. Shino and Hinata were much better. Shino provided both of us with backup while Hinata guarded Tazuna. I am sorry, guys. Shino just nodded his head and accepted Naruto's words. But I did not do anything on the mission. I was useless. Hinata hung her head and said in a barely audible voice, Hinata, come on, we talked about this. You brought down one of Gato's evil henchmen. You are not useless, Naruto reminded her. Kurenai also joined. Yes, Hinata. You stood guard after we were tired from the battle and you mapped out Gato's hideout, which made things very easy for us. Don't sell yourself short. Yes, You are an important member of this team. Even Shino joined in. Hinata felt very happy receiving their acknowledgement, and nodded happily. Kurenai then inquired about their current skills and their progress in the minor genjutsu she taught. All three picked up the jutsu. They just need more practice. Hinata was progressing well with easily learnable and defensive water techniques. Shino was the same with earth jutsu. He is also exploring casting the genjutsu with his bugs. Naruto's situation was slightly complex. He had a wide variety of jutsu in his arsenal. Although most of them were minor, he is involved in too many categories with little time. Even though he used shadow clones to practice, he told Kurenai about his predicament. She advised him to divide his time on getting the genjutsu battle ready first, then sword techniques to go with his new sword and refine all other jutsu he learned one by one. The first part of the exam is in 4 days. I will spend the next 3 days helping and sparring with you individually and as a team. If you feel confident, then fill up the forms and be at the academy on time. Kurenai said. They continued training for a few hours. Naruto went home and to his surprise, Ino was standing in his balcony waiting to what do I owe a visit from the number 2 Uchiha fangirl of Konoha. Naruto greeted Ino. What, who is number 1? Ino replied immediately, not denying. Sakura, of course, you should have seen them when we were on a mission together. She was literally glued to him. I never saw Broody so annoyed before. Poor bastard, Naruto said in a mocking voice. Ino hurriedly handed him some scrolls and books from her bag. Dad told me to deliver these to you. Bye. I need to find Sasuke-kun. Then she was gone. Naruto could see a trail of dust going off into the distance. He hasn't seen someone leave so fast before. So predictable. She didn't even consider the insult in my words. Naruto entered his home and started browsing the contents Ino delivered. They had to wait until the Chunin exam was done, so he locked them away. Kurenai was right. He needed to refine his current skills instead of jumping on too many things. The only new task he decided to explore for now is applying the genjutsu techniques with his spiritual energy. It will be like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Second is sword technique. When he killed Garo's men, he used several moves from the memories from the Blood Drinker. I need to come up with a unique style of my own, Naruto decided. He made a shadow clone and sent it to the library to read upon every sword manual available. When he left the training ground, he already left a few more clones to practice all the techniques he learned so far. If he can't understand the elemental manipulation techniques, he is just going to master them by repeating them hundreds of times. The next few days passed without incident. Kurenai could see the gradual improvement in her students. Naruto was the fastest of the 3. He was able to incorporate genjutsu in battle and improved his sword skills. Chunin exam day. Team 8 assembled and entered the academy. While making their way towards the exam room, they came across a commotion. A young Konoha ninja clad in green jumpsuit was challenging Sasuke. Kiba was angry that only Sasuke was challenged, not him. Naruto came across another ninja with the exact same outfit once in the Hokage Tower, and was able to get some info about him from the Hokage. If this genin is related to Konoha's green beast, Mato guy, then he should definitely have some skills, thought Naruto. He signaled his team and they waited at a safe distance from the commotion. On seeing Niji, Hinata whispered to them, that is Niji, my cousin, the bun-haired girl and the boy in green should be his teammates. I heard his sensei is a jounin called Guy. Then they saw Team 7 following Niji's team. Overcome by curiosity, Naruto also made his team follow. Naruto had expected the green cub, as he nicknamed in his mind, to be skilled, and he was proven right. Sasuke couldn't even land a punch. Before the fight could go any further, it was interrupted by Mato Guy. What followed next was baffling to all the genin present. They were exposed to a strong genjutsu of sunset with waves crashing in the background. In the middle were 2 men in green jumpsuits hugging in tears. Hinata felt giddy and was swaying on her feet after witnessing the scene. Even the always calm Shino was affected. But Naruto felt something different, so he extended his spiritual energy as much as he could and covered the whole scene. What he felt was enlightening. The emotions from both the hugging teacher and pupil were pure. It felt like dedication. There are no mixed or impure thoughts, and there is a resonance between them. The surrounding nature reacted to that and caused this phenomenon. Naruto was able to narrow down the positive emotion because he felt something similar form his team and sensei when they were training and focusing purely on it. So a pure and focused will can even affect nature. I need to explore this finding, Naruto thought. Several ideas on how to achieve that were already swirling in his mind. The genin teams reached the exam room soon and gathered together. As expected because of some of the louder ones, namely Kiba and Ino, they started getting attention. Naruto was calm instead, as he has a lot going though his mind. He still greeted Shikamaru and Choji, and they started chatting. But Naruto was anything but calm inside, since entering the senses are warning him of danger. He tried to scan the room, but there were too many people radiating negative emotions. He was forced to retract his spiritual energy, and he only extended it in the range of the rookie group and kept his alertness. They were soon approached by a silvered-haired guy with glasses, who introduced himself as Kabuto and tried to warn them, but Naruto didn't believe him. Naruto can feel Jounin-level chakra from Kabuto and his emotions were suppressed, but due to the close proximity and Naruto concentrating only on very less distance, he could sense them. He felt deceit and contempt. Overall, Kabuto was like a predator calmly hunting his prey. Naruto felt like he could still take on the guy, but his senses are warning him that there is even bigger danger, while the rest of the genin, mainly Sasuke, was inquiring Kabuto about several opponents. Naruto signaled Shino and Hinata to retreat. Sasuke was so affected by his latest defeat by Lee that he concentrated on them and forgot about Naruto's team completing an A-rank mission, even though Naruto was carrying a giant sword on his back in open view. They discreetly left the rookie group and went to a corner. Naruto whispered his findings to them and Shino sent a few bugs to hide in Kabuto's clothes. Hinata felt very nervous, but Naruto held her hand and calmed her down. She was getting more and more used to Naruto's presence and barely stuttered now. She didn't know Naruto was silently influencing her. Soon the written exam started. Even though Naruto can't effectively spy in the current situation, he could already answer some questions. Soon Shino's bugs delivered the remaining answers to him. When the final question came, Hinata was worried, but one look at her teammates decided her answer. The first part of the exam was over and they just entered the Forest of Death. Team 8 decided to track down other rookie teams for additional support in case of danger. Luckily, Shino placed tracking bugs on some of them. Shino released some of his bugs. Once the bugs returned, they started on their way to the nearest team. On the way, with Naruto and Hinata scanning for danger, they avoided the animals in the forest and some of the foreign teams. They even took down 2 weak teams and got the required scroll. They found Team 7 in a very bad state. Kiba and Akamaru were injured and unconscious. Sasuke was also down, and he seems to be ill with a high fever. Sakura was the only one uninjured, but she seemed very shaken up. Naruto sensed intense fear from her. Sakura felt relief once Team 8 revealed themselves. She hugged Hinata and started crying. Naruto created a few shadow clones and had them lay traps in the surroundings and started tending to the injured along with Shino. Kiba took a hit to the head and his other injuries were light, and Akamaru overused his energy. They will recover after some rest with some medicine, but Sasuke's state worried Naruto. He could feel a sinister presence alongside Sasuke's chakra inside his body. Once Sakura calmed down, she recounted what happened. They were first attacked by a female shinobi who turned into a snake-like man. Both Kiba and Sasuke were defeated very easily. Then Sasuke was bitten by the man on his neck. Naruto started examining the bite on Sasuke. It looked like a strange seal. Shino also observed it, and tried to have a few of his bugs absorb Sasuke's chakra. Some refused to go near Sasuke and the one who tried to absorb died. Hinata scanned with her Byakugan and reported Sasuke's chakra is in turmoil. There seems to be foreign chakra in his coils and it seems to be trying to do something to Sasuke's body. Naruto thought for a few minutes and said, it is already night, and it will be dangerous to venture outside from this hiding spot now. We also cannot carry all 3 of them and fight other teams. Let's wait for Kiba and Akamaru. They should recover soon. I am not sure about Sasuke. I will try to examine more. Once Kiba is up in the morning, we will rush to the tower. Everybody accepted Naruto's decision. Naruto sat beside the sleeping Sasuke and placed his hand on Sasuke's neck near the strange seal. He tried to slowly probe it with his spiritual energy. When it finally touched the seal, he saw a white snake surrounded by black chakra. It felt sinister. The snake hissed and tried to bite, which made Naruto recoil in surprise. So a foreign entity entered Sasuke. It has its own chakra and an emotion like intense hunger. Naruto probed different parts of Sasuke with both his mental and physical energies and observed for more than an hour. Sasuke's own chakra was getting consumed and transformed into something different by the snake. Naruto felt that the snake may be preparing Sasuke's body to its liking for a hostile takeover. He told the rest of the group his findings and Sakura recalled the attacker saying Sasuke's body will be his soon. She started crying and begging them to do something. Naruto said he can try something, but it can be dangerous to Sasuke's life. He was reluctant but thought it would be better to try than let Sasuke's body be consumed by that snake. Naruto again placed his hand near the seal. He slowly channeled his chakra decomposing ability to his fingertips and slowly touched the seal. Naruto's consciousness was drawn into the seal after he touched it. It looked like a completely dark space. Naruto held his hand out, and a ball of fire appeared in. Suddenly the snake he saw before lunged towards him from the darkness, but it hit an invisible dome surrounding Naruto. The snake recoiled back and seemed to have received some damage. A part of its head was smoking and a few scales were slowly disintegrating. In the outside world, Naruto and Shino used simple earth jutsu to enlarge the hole they were hiding in. Then Naruto made the rest of the people retreat a few meters away and released his chakra decomposing field before touching the seal. After completely absorbing Zabuza's energy, it extended to almost a meter. Inside the seal, the same field surrounded him. Naruto willed the size of the fireball in his hand to increase in size. He was using a genjutsu technique Kurenai taught. Instead of chakra, he is using spiritual energy. He lifted his hand and threw the fireball towards the snake, which hissed and moved away in fear. Naruto made several more in quick succession and threw them slightly upwards in all four directions. Once done, he bolted towards the snake. He imagined his mental energy to be like his blood drinker, and it appeared in his hand. The snake was now afraid. It tried to dodge and run away, but when Naruto got within a meter distance, it started decomposing. Naruto started hacking it with his sword and soon he separated it into several parts. The head was separated from the body and impaled on Naruto's sword. He brought it inside his field and it rapidly decomposed. Naruto felt the seal break and the resistance he felt before receding. He willed more of his spiritual energy spread into the seal and draw the sinister chakra toward him. Soon all the dark chakra was decomposed. Outside, the rest of the people could only see Naruto's back, so they did not see it. A black-colored liquid was released from the seal and spread on top of Naruto's hand until his elbow for a minute and slowly faded away. It was the separated physical energy of the snake which Naruto's body absorbed. Inside the seal, the snake's body disintegrated completely. A gray-colored fog remained after the physical part of the chakra was taken by Naruto. It soon started gathering together, and another snake formed. Before it could do anything, Naruto formed a huge hand with his spiritual energy and crushed it. Outside, Naruto retracted his hand from Sasuke's neck. He immediately jumped to his own mindscape. There the gray fog was hanging surrounded by his spiritual energy. Naruto didn't want to take any chances with this foreign energy, so he concentrated and started to intensely grind and break it down. He could faintly hear hissing and wailing noise emanating from it. Since he already has experience, the process this time was faster. Soon the gray energy was completely broken and down and assimilated within 10 minutes. Naruto opened his eyes and rose from his sitting position. The rest of the people were on edge since he started. I think I killed the snake. I can no longer feel its presence inside Sasuke. You can come and check. Sakura rushed and took Sasuke's head onto her lap. He is still running a fever, she said, looking towards Naruto. Hinata scanned with her Byakugan. The foreign chakra is no longer present in his body, she said, but looked towards Naruto with a frown. He understood that there was something else that she did not want to say in front of Sakura. Shino released his bugs and confirmed that they are no longer afraid. Sakura titled Sasuke's head to examine the seal. What remained of the seal looked like a round burned scar, black and purple in color. As decided previously, we will rush to the tower once Kiba is up. We will get the medics to treat him. Don't worry, Sakura, Naruto assured. Thank you, Naruto, Sakura said gratefully. Naruto nodded and turned towards the rest. Let's check the perimeter and traps. We did not want any surprise attacks. With Naruto's shadow clones and Shino's bugs already posted around, there is no need. They understood his message and went with him until they were outside the hearing range. Hinata, what happened? Naruto asked. The seal, or whatever that thing was, it is broken now. Before it was connected to some of Sasuke's chakra coils. It was taking in his chakra and releasing a more sinister chakra through them. Now those chakra coils are burned and no longer operating, even though those are only a few. They are very near to major chakra paths. I am not sure how they will affect him, Hinata replied. Naruto understood that Sasuke's career as a shinobi is at risk. If he can't mold chakra, then it is the end of the path for him. Let's not discuss this anymore. There is nothing else we can do for now. Let's report it directly to Sensei and the old man once we reach the tower. I am sure they will come up with something. They went back to the hiding place and took turns in watching. As they expected, Kiba woke up before morning and they briefed him on what happened. Morning came. They ate some dry rations and started preparing to leave. Naruto sensed some chakra signatures approaching from some distance. Prepare for attack, he warned the rest. Hinata used her Byakugan 3 low Chunin ninja, the team that attacked that Kabuto guy in the first exam. Kiba, you stay guard here, let's go, Naruto said and Team 8 rushed out. Sound Team was not expecting an ambush. Even though they were vigilant, they were taken by surprise. Naruto burst out of the foliage and landed in the trio's middle. He was already swinging his sword. Lucky for them, he only hit with the blunt side. The boy covered in bandages evaded, but the girl took the hit because of that, and was blasted away into the trees. The third boy pointed his hands towards Naruto. Before he could do any jutsu, he was swarmed by Shino's bugs. Naruto ran towards the bandaged one. He also pointed his hand towards Naruto but was hit in the back by a ball of water. He stumbled for a moment, and Hinata was on him before he could recover. He went down after taking a few juken hits. The fight was over in just a few seconds. Naruto robbed the two downed boys of their scroll and weapons and tied them up. They just ignored the girl. The hit from Naruto definitely broke some bones. After Team 8 returned, Naruto's shadow clone picked up Sasuke and Kiba carried Akamaru in his jacket. They rushed to the tower while carefully avoiding any teams on the way. Teams 8 and 9 raised the alarm immediately upon reaching the tower. Sasuke was taken to the infirmary, while Kakashi and Kurenai took the rest to the Hokage. Sakura and Kiba recounted the attack by the strange ninja and how Team 8 helped them. Naruto filled in some of the gaps, but he didn't reveal any details about how he took care of the strange seal on Sasuke's neck. Hokage sent Kiba and Sakura to get checked by the medics. Once they left, Gigi, who was the ninja that attacked Team 7, Hiruzen hesitated to reveal the identity for a few moments but decided that there is no harm. They are already considered shinobi of Konoha. Orochimaru, Hiruzen said. Team 8 was stunned. They studied the famous ninjas in the academy. The team couldn't believe an S-class missing ninja, one of the legendary Sannin attacking a mere genin team. Naruto was the first to break the silence. That explains a lot. The moment I entered the exam room, my instincts screamed danger. I could barely keep myself calm. He was there all along, Naruto recounted. The adults were surprised at Naruto's sensing ability at detecting unknown danger. Hiruzen asked a few more questions and said, Naruto, you have an amazing sensing ability. To be able to sense danger passively will be a huge boon. Do not neglect it. Keep on practicing and improving it. Naruto nodded and continued. When we were with Team 7, we detected a malicious foreign presence inside Sasuke. It was trying to take over Sasuke's body, so I tried to stop it. When I touched the strange seal on Sasuke's neck, when I made my consciousness enter the seal, I was attacked by a snake. Naruto described the snake's appearance, and told them he was able to defeat the snake with Kyuubi's chakra. Hinata was able to confirm with her Byakugan that the malicious chakra receded after I was done, but some of Sasuke's chakra coils were damaged. Hiruzen was amazed that Naruto was able to do so much against Orochimaru's seal without any related knowledge. Kakashi, check on Sasuke immediately and report back. Kakashi nodded and shunshined away. Naruto, what you did was very dangerous, I know, but Sasuke's situation was getting worse every minute. I didn't want him to get taken over by something evil. Hiruzen told Team 8 to get some rest until the completion of the second exam. Naruto was about to leave, but he turned back. Gigi, one more thing, we met a guy called Kabuto during the first exam. He has silver hair and wears round glasses. He has as much chakra as Kakashi-sensei. He was suppressing it. He is Jounin level, but still acting as a genin. I sensed bad intentions from him. Shino put a bug on him to track, so that we could be careful about him, but we got sidetracked in the second exam. Hiruzen nodded and summoned an Umbu and ordered to track down and capture the ninja Naruto described immediately. Kurenai took them to a room and started asking for more details, which they explained. I am proud of you three, Kurenai praised with a bright smile on her face. Your strategy to team up with friends is very good, and you took care of your comrades instead of prioritizing the exam. I couldn't have asked for better students. The three were very pleased with the praise, and Naruto pulled all of them into a group hug. Hinata turned bright red, but she was still smiling brightly. You take some rest for today. You still have 2 more days until the exam completion. You can use one of the training rooms in the tower later. I don't think anybody will dare to attack here. But be vigilant and reach out to the Umbu or any Jounin here if you need. I have some things to take care of. I will come back later, Kurenai said and left. Team 8 rested for a while and visited the infirmary to check on Team 7. Kiba and Sakura were sitting beside Sasuke's bed and Akamaru was on Kiba's lap. Sasuke was still unconscious. How are you guys doing? Asked Naruto. Medics healed my injuries and Akamaru is also fine, Kiba said. Akamaru acknowledged it with a bark. Sasuke's fever is down. He seems stable. Kakashi-sensei said he will be up in a day or two. Hey, thanks for the extra scroll. We were allowed in the next round because of your help. I owe you one, Kiba said cheerfully. It is fine. You survived against a very dangerous ninja. I think you can make Chunin, Kiba. It was Shino, who replied in a calm tone. Since when did you learn to talk, Shino? Kiba retorted, but thanks anyway. Sakura also thanked them but mostly stayed silent. She was still shaken up. Kiba continued to talk to Team 8, and made plans with them to train together the next day. He was never one to keep brooding. The next 2 days were uneventful. Teams 9 and 10 also made it the next day. Naruto and Kiba pulled Team 10 into their training. But Ino refused and went to spend her time in the infirmary. Once she learned of Sasuke's situation. On the final day of the second exam, all the past teams were called to a large hall and were given the speech by Hokage. The qualified teams were 4 teams from Konoha, 1 Sand team, 1 team from Kusa, and another from Taki. Kakashi took out Sasuke's name from the list saying he is injured and not fit to fight yet. Soon the first match was drawn, Kiba vs Iburi Kenji. Kiba was matched against a Taki ninja carrying a sword on his back who looked at least a year older. Both candidates made it to the ring and Proctor Hate started the match. Both started probing each other with kunai and shuriken, but couldn't get the upper hand on each other. The Taki ninja charged with his sword, but Kiba threw smoke bombs and immediately used his beast mimicry with Akamaru. Both attacked with Gutsuga. When the smoke cleared, Kiba was standing with Akamaru in his arms. Both of them were bleeding from multiple shallow slash wounds. Their opponent was knocked down in the middle of the ring. Winner Inuzuka Kiba, declared Hate. The downed ninja was taken to the infirmary, and Kiba and Akamaru followed the medics to get their wound treated. The next match was between Sakura and Ino. As expected, it was nothing but a catfight. Both of them knocked each other out. Sensei, is it wrong to say that was the most pathetic fight I have ever seen? Asked Naruto. No, replied Kurenai. What the hell are you teaching your students, Asuma? Kurenai asked angrily. Asuma just sighed and lifted his hands in mock surrender. I have been trying. Both Shikamaru and Choji improved a lot recently, but Ino refuses to participate in physical training. I didn't want to enter her into Chunin exams, but I thought it would teach her a lesson, he explained. Yeah, she is too bossy. She thinks physical training will damage her body, even though it is troublesome. We agreed with Asuma to enter the exams to change her mindset about shinobi life, Shikamaru explained maturely. Kakashi was standing some distance away from them. Kurenai wanted to drag him to the Hokage and complain. At least Ino has her family jutsu to rely on in the future. But Sakura is a civilian and has no backing. She won't be able to survive like this. It was lucky she even survived the encounter in the forest. She was practically useless, Kurenai thought angrily. She even warned him during the team assignments. She decided to make a complaint later. The pervert has it coming. The next match was called Temari vs Tenten. Temari won because of her advantage. It was a bad matchup. Naruto looked very interested in Temari's jutsu. Sensei, where can I get a fan like that? Naruto asked. They are signature weapons of Suna. You can have weaponsmiths make similar ones on special order, but the quality is not on par with Suna's. Suna won't sell them outside, Kurenai explained. Naruto was slightly disappointed, but he got some inspiration from observing Temari's use of wind chakra. Shino's match was next against a ninja from Kusa. Both opponents only observed each other once the match started without making any moves. The Kusa ninja was the first to move. He started making hand signs, and several strands of tall grass sprouted around Shino and swiftly wrapped around Shino. The strands have thorns protruding from them. Give up. My thorny grass has deadly poison. I do not even have the antidote, he warned Shino in a serious voice. Your illusion is too weak. Suddenly a voice came from behind the Kusa ninja. Before he could turn, Shino hit him on the back of the head. Kusa ninja collapsed, and Shino, who was wrapped in grass vines, burst into a swarm of bugs as the illusion of grass dissolved. Shino recalled his bugs and went back to his team after the proctor called the match. The next match was between Kankuro versus a Taki ninja who wore the same outfit and carried a sword as his teammate who lost previously. as soon as the match started by the proctor. He attacked Kankuro with impressive sword skills, but Kakuro fooled him with his puppet and captured him. The Taki ninja was forced to give up and returned to his team dejectedly. Shikamaru was next. Facing off against another Kusa Kunoichi, he started making strategies even before stepping off the balcony into the ring. Shino should have prolonged his fight. That way I could learn more about this clan from Kusa. Looks like they have genjutsu skills, thought Shikamaru. Once the match started, he started probing his opponent with shuriken and kunai. His opponent didn't give anything away and just deflected or shot down his projectiles. The same grass vines sprouted from the ground to surround him, but instead of trying to dispel the illusion, Shikamaru dodged. His opponent was taken back. How did her enemy know that her technique is not an illusion? They continued their fight with only projectiles and kept their distance from each other. She tried to cast a combination of illusion and real vine technique, but Shikamaru evaded every time. The Kusa Kunoichi was frustrated and was about to change tactics, but she became unable to move suddenly. A thin shadow extended from Shikamaru and caught his opponent in his shadow bind. Shikamaru walked towards her opponent and his opponent was forced to mimic his movements. He retrieved a kunai from his left hand and pointed at the opponent's throat, while the opponent's hand pointing at his own was empty. Proctor declared Shikamaru as the winner and called the next match Naruto vs. Itsuki, the third member of the Taki team. The Taki ninja was worried from the start seeing the giant sword on Naruto's back, which did not seem like hindering Naruto's movements, so he decided to use ninjutsu instead of kenjutsu. Their team was made up of skilled sword users under Jounin, who is also an elite sword master. We were so unlucky to come across people who could counter us, lamented the Taki genin. When the proctor gave the signal, the Taki genin did hand signs, and a whip made up of water materialized in his hand. He swung the whip towards Naruto, who just dodged. He went after Naruto trying to catch him with the whip, but to no avail. The Taki genin suddenly held the water whip with both hands and then separated them. The whip separated into two strands and another dance began. Naruto was skillfully dodging the whips. The crowd was very impressed with Naruto. He was moving very gracefully with precise movements, and sometimes bending at impossible angles. The Taki genin was getting frustrated. Just as he decided to dispel the water jutsu and attack with kenjutsu, he heard a voice from behind. You gave up the match even before it started. You have no confidence. Another Naruto was standing behind the Taki genin, who proceeded to knock his opponent unconscious. The original Naruto, standing some distance away, poofed away. It was a shadow clone. Naruto just recreated Shino's match. Proctor called for the next match, Hinata vs. Hikaru, the last genin from Kusa. The match was over in moments after the proctor shouted, "Start!" Hinata just rushed her opponent, got inside his defense, and disabled him with a few juken hits. It helped that her opponent was a long-range fighter. Next match was Niji vs. Choji. Choji was reluctant, but he still put up a good fight with his family jutsu. But just like the match with Hinata, Niji disabled him easily. Niji thought it was beneath him if he put in more effort than Hinata. Proctor called for the last and final match, Gaara vs. Rock Lee. Naruto got very interested in the match, not only because of Lee, but Gaara was radiating so much hate and anger. This was the first time Naruto came across such pure emotion. He could also sense that the redhead has a huge amount of chakra. The match started and Lee tried to draw Gaara into close-quarter combat to no avail. He couldn't even touch the redhead. Once Lee removed his weights, Naruto was flabbergasted, to say the least. Sensei, how can Lee carry so much weight with his meager amount of chakra? Naruto asked. You should ask Mato Guy. I heard that the kid couldn't mold chakra, so Guy trained him purely in taijutsu. Naruto's face suddenly lit up. Sensei, can you introduce me? Why, Naruto? You are already fast enough and you don't have a problem with ninjutsu. I don't think Guy's training style suits you, Kurenai replied. Even a small improvement in the body is good enough for me. I just want to ask for some tips, he said. Okay, I will ask Guy for a joint training session with our teams. Meanwhile, Lee was able to land hits on Gaara and smash him to the ground after opening the gates. But Gaara was unhurt due to his absolute defense. Once Lee was down, Gaara crushed his leg. Before Gaara could crush Lee completely, Naruto interfered alongside Guy. The moment Naruto landed beside Lee, he opened his chakra decomposing field and swung his sword toward the sand. Naruto was hyper-aware of his surroundings. Guy just landed a step away from Naruto and punched the air. Both of their moves blew the sand away. Some of the sand lost its ability to move and just fell to the ground. Naruto retracted his field immediately before Guy could feel it. He turned towards Gaara and focused his full mental energy towards Gaara and projected it to intimidate him. If you make one more move, I will end you. The whole place became deadly silent. Nobody doubted Naruto's words. Gaara, on the other hand, was frightened. Even the one-tailed tanuki, Shikaku, who was growling for more blood until now, suddenly retreated and became silent. The sand surrounding him lost its power and fell. Even the sand armor surrounding Gaara's skin started falling. Gaara started screaming and crawling backward. Get away. Don't come near me, mother, where are you? The sand team didn't dare get near him. When Gaara reached the wall, he shrunk into a fetal position, sobbing for his mother. Thank you, Naruto-kun, Guy said and picked up Lee. Naruto nodded and started walking towards Gaara. Baki was about to move and retrieve Gaara, but Hokage himself suddenly appeared beside Naruto when he was a few feet away from Gaara. What is it, Naruto? There are 2 different chakra signatures in him. One of them feels like Kyuubi. Naruto muttered in a very low voice that only Hiruzen could hear. Jinchuriki of one tail, Shikaku, Hiruzen thought. Baki moved and appeared a few meters away from them and bowed. Hokage-sama, please allow me to take my genin away. Raza has some nerve sending a very unstable Jinchuriki here. Take him away. He is not fit to be a shinobi in his current state. He is disqualified from Chunin exams. I expect a proper explanation from the Kazekage, Hiruzen declared. Baki didn't dare voice any objection. He simply picked up Gaara and retreated. Once the drama ended, Proctor said that the final matches will be held in 1 month and announced the matchups. Match 1 Temari vs Shikamaru. Match 2 Shino vs Kankuro. Match 3 Hinata vs Niji. Match 4 Naruto vs Kiba. The crowd dispersed after the announcements. Naruto told Kurenai that he wants to visit Lee and teammate went to the hospital. Kurenai inquired on the way, why did you intervene in the last fight, Naruto? Guy would have been able to handle it. I like Lee. He is simple-minded, dedicated, and pure. It is very rare to find such people. What did you do to that Sanjen and Gaara? I projected my intent completely on him to intimidate him. It's like projecting killing intent, but I projected an emotion instead. That is a very advanced technique. I can surely say only Kage-level ninja will be able to command such authority you projected at that moment. Well done. Even Kurenai felt a little jealous of her student, but she also felt pride. Fortunately for Naruto, she didn't ask more questions. Naruto already felt a little guilty for hiding his physical and spiritual energy techniques from her. Guy, Tenten, and Niji were waiting outside the operation theater when teammate reached. How is he? Kurenai asked. The injuries were serious. Both arm and leg were crushed. I should have acted quickly and prevented it, Guy said sadly. We can't predict the future. Don't beat yourself over it. Let's hope for the best, Kurenai consoled him. Hinata greeted Niji Ne-san. I am sorry for you, teammate. How are you doing? Niji was surprised that Hinata was speaking to him without stuttering, and she seemed more calm and confident. It is his fate, Niji said with a blank face. Hinata didn't know what to say further. Niji was so stuck up on some stuff. Naruto meanwhile greeted Tenten, who was sitting with tears in her eyes, and tried to cheer her up. Even Shino said a few encouraging words. Your kids are very good and kind, Kurenai, Guy said. They waited for an hour and one of the medics came out of the operation theater and approached Guy. Guy-san, we did everything we could. The muscles and bones were too crushed to be put back properly. There won't be any problem if he is going to lead civilian life. But if he does any stressful physical training, the limbs will get damaged further. Guy was distraught. Being a shinobi is Lee's dream. This will crush his spirit. Isn't there anything you can do? Unfortunately, none of the doctors present here has the skills to reverse the damage. Only someone like Tsunade-sama could cure him, the medic replied. Both teams waited until Lee was shifted to a room. Naruto was dejected that he couldn't do anything for Lee. The nurses eventually sent them away. Kurenai told the team to rest and meet her at their training ground the next day. She has to prepare a training schedule for the next month. Baki and the Sand siblings were en route to their home village, Suna. Initially, they had planned to spend an entire month in Konoha, gathering comprehensive information on the village's facilities and surveillance systems. However, their plans were abruptly disrupted. As soon as the Hokage disclosed Gaara's status as a Jinchuriki and his current unstable condition, the ANBU ninjas kept them on their watch. With limited choices, their only recourse was to retreat. ANBU ninjas even tailed them until they reached the border of the Fire Country. Gaara remained detached, his vacant eyes resembling those of a lifeless fish. Baki shouldered the responsibility of carrying him. As the group traversed the vast expanse of the desert, their pace gradually eased. An unexpected sound caught Baki's attention, an unmistakable snoring noise echoing near his ear. As he shifted his gaze, a wave of horror swept over him at the sight of Gaara peacefully slumbering. Before he could utter a single word, a torrent of desert sand surged forth, swallowing him alongside Gaara. Kakuro and Temari were lucky that they were a few meters behind Baki. They ran away at full speed the moment they sensed the sand rise. They were not very far from the edge of the desert, so they did not stop until they were out of danger. Only after they felt secure did they turn their gaze backward. Even from a long distance, they could see the form of Shikaku, who was rampaging. They could feel the gusts of wind generated by the bijou. Temari and Kankuro found themselves genuinely disoriented, unsure of how to proceed. Soon the giant form of Shikaku vanished into the endless desert. They harbored doubts about Baki's survival, their hopes pinned solely on Gaara's well-being. They waited around the edge of the desert for a few days and encountered a sand team returning from a mission. They finally gathered their courage and returned to their village. In Konoha, Kurenai gave 3 scrolls to her team and said, "I have prepared a training schedule for each of you. Hinata, Shino, study your plans and discuss them with your clans. We can make adjustments based on the feedback. If you want to concentrate exclusively on your clan jutsu, that is also fine." Shino studied his scroll and responded, "This is perfect, sensei. I am trying to incorporate more genjutsu techniques with my bugs. I already discussed that with my father, he is fine with it, but he wants to take me to our clan grounds for further training this month." "Sensei, my father also wants me to focus solely on the Hyuga style," Hinata said hesitantly. "You don't have to worry, Hinata, I understand," Kurenai reassured her. "You'll be showcasing your abilities in front of an audience. It wouldn't reflect well on the Hyuga clan if you didn't primarily rely on your clan's skills. You can concentrate on it for now. Let's meet up once or twice a week to catch up." "Thank you, sensei," Hinata expressed her gratitude. "Naruto, it seems I'll be focusing solely on training you for this entire month. Additionally, I have arranged for a favor from a friend to provide you with sword arts lessons," Kurenai informed him. "Thank you, sensei. I have no concerns about the matches. My only desire is to concentrate on honing my skills without distractions," Naruto expressed. The following day, Naruto met Gekko Hate. Despite his frail health, the Jounin displayed remarkable swordsmanship skills. Naruto struggled to even land a single blow during their spar. It was on that day that Naruto learned a profound lesson. Sword wielding is an art. Hate keenly identified flaws in his movements and provided invaluable feedback, grateful for the guidance. Naruto expressed his gratitude and thanked the seasoned swordsman. They promptly scheduled additional sessions leading up to the final exam. Naruto sought out Guy, who was busy training Niji, to inquire about physical development. Guy was ecstatic to see another young shinobi showing interest in his training methods. Delighted, he handed Naruto a collection of materials he had compiled, containing various exercises to enhance speed and strength, and guidance on the proper use of weights. Several days later, Naruto and Kurenai engaged in a spar within their designated training area. His physical strength had reached a level comparable to that of a Jounin, causing Kurenai to meticulously dodge his strikes, aware of the considerable pain they could inflict. Without uttering a word, Naruto silently mouthed, "We are being watched," drawing her attention. She discreetly read his lips but withheld any visible reaction. East, 100 meters away, concealed in the bushes, Naruto conveyed the details, prompting Kurenai to maintain her composure. Bringing their spar to a halt, they feigned the need for a break. Seizing the opportunity, Naruto claimed he needed to relieve himself and subtly retreated behind a nearby tree. Behind the tree's concealment, he swiftly created shadow clones that stealthily maneuvered toward the intruder's location. Suddenly, an explosion resonated through the air, prompting Naruto and Kurenai to rush toward the source. As the dust settled, they discovered a weird man lying disheveled in a nearby bush. Despite his appearance, he showed no signs of injury. "Jiraiya-sama, what brings you here?" Kurenai inquired, puzzled by his unexpected presence. In response, Naruto swiftly retrieved his sword and launched an assault on Jiraiya without hesitation. Jiraiya evaded the surprise attack. Kurenai called out, "Naruto, wait!" Despite her plea, Naruto persisted, unleashing his full force. Jiraiya found himself taken aback by Naruto's resentment. Realizing it was their first encounter, Jiraiya skillfully evaded Naruto's relentless attacks. Utilizing his decades of experience to outmaneuver the young shinobi, Naruto employed every trick and jutsu at his disposal, yet Jiraiya remained steadfast in his defense. Gradually, Jiraiya began striking back, countering Naruto's every misstep with punishing strikes and kicks. Eventually, Naruto succumbed to a devastating blow to the back of his head, rendering him unconscious. Kurenai hurriedly approached Naruto to ensure his well-being. Jiraiya remarked, "Kurenai-chan, what have you been teaching him? His techniques are reaching the level of a jounin. He only lacks experience and timing. He nearly caught me multiple times with genjutsu." Kurenai glanced at Jiraiya after confirming Naruto's safety. "I have only taught him the fundamentals," she responded, "team exercises, strategy, chakra control, and genjutsu. The rest, he has attained through hard work and dedication." After a brief moment, Naruto regained consciousness, feeling a slight dizziness. "Sensei, I think I need to take some rest. Can we continue tomorrow?" Naruto requested, not bothering to direct his gaze toward Jiraiya. Before Kurenai could respond, Jiraiya interjected, "Naruto, I need to talk to you." Ignoring Jiraiya's words, Naruto began to walk away. "Naruto, please, just hear me out. I apologize for not arriving earlier," Jiraiya pleaded, but the blonde refused to acknowledge him. Jiraiya let out a sigh of exasperation, muttering, "This is turning into a disaster." Meanwhile, Naruto returned home, seeking solace by immersing himself in the materials sent by Inoichi. In the following days, Jiraiya made several attempts to approach Naruto, but each endeavor proved fruitless as Naruto remained unresponsive. In the Hokage's office, Jiraiya relayed the latest intelligence received from Suna. "Sensei, I just received word from my sources in Suna. Their Jinchuriki is missing. The Kazekage's 2 elder children arrived safely in Suna, but their instructor, Baki, is presumed dead. It is believed that Shikaku has taken control of the host. Additionally, the Kazekage himself has been displaying peculiar behavior. One of my spies reported indications of plans for an invasion, although further details could not be obtained." Jiraiya reported to Hiruzen, "Is Suna holding us responsible for this incident?" Hiruzen questioned. "No, according to the Kazekage's children, Gaara, the host, lost control," replied Jiraiya. Hiruzen absorbed the information before inquiring, "Anything else?" "I think Orochimaru may be plotting an attack against us, but it's challenging to track his movements. He is incredibly elusive," Jiraiya revealed. "In that case, this is no mere coincidence," Hiruzen remarked, promptly summoning an ANBU. "Bring me Shikaku," he ordered. Turning his attention to Jiraiya, Hiruzen continued, "How did your interaction with Naruto go?" "No progress so far. He's not even willing to speak with me," Jiraiya lamented. "You should have at least written him some letters," Hiruzen advised. At Training Ground 8, Kurenai approached Naruto. "Naruto, I hope you don't mind me asking, but can you share why you're so angry with Jiraiya-sama?" she inquired delicately. "He was supposed to be my godfather. I found out over a year ago," Naruto responded with a tinge of bitterness. "Gigi told me he sent messages to Jiraiya-sama, asking him to visit, but he never showed up. Some godfather he turned out to be." Kurenai offered a compassionate perspective. "I believe there must be reasons behind his actions or lack thereof. It might be worth considering giving him a chance to explain," she suggested. "I'll think about it," Naruto replied, contemplating the possibility of granting Jiraiya a chance to clarify his actions. After an additional 4 days had passed, Naruto finally granted Jiraiya the opportunity to speak with him. Jiraiya offered a sincere apology, and proceeded to explain the importance of his role as a spy, emphasizing the necessity of remaining outside the village to gather crucial information. Though Naruto remained somewhat skeptical, Jiraiya's words piqued his interest when he mentioned a formidable mercenary organization known as Akatsuki, which posed a potential threat to the Jinchuriki. Eager to learn more, Naruto delved into inquiries about the whereabouts of various bijou and their respective Jinchuriki. Aside from Gaara, Jiraiya's knowledge of the other Jinchuriki was limited. He shared with Naruto all the information he possessed. In the days that followed, Jiraiya devoted more time to Naruto's training and attempted to persuade him to accompany him on a reconnaissance mission to the hot springs, an offer Naruto declined. He got Naruto to sign the summoning contract with the Toads. Naruto began by befriending several smaller toads, establishing a bond, and laying the foundation for future summoning endeavors. At least one toad became a constant companion, perching atop Naruto's shoulders or head as he went about his daily activities. Recognizing the significance of the upcoming Chunin exams, Jiraiya decided to remain in Konoha and personally teach Rasengan to Naruto. With only 10 days remaining until the Chunin final exam, Jiraiya approached Naruto and requested permission to examine his seal. Given Jiraiya's reputation as a renowned seal master, Naruto agreed. However, Jiraiya found himself unable to comprehend the changes that had occurred within the seal. It was no longer fully integrated with Naruto's chakra system. When Jiraiya inquired about it, Naruto simply shrugged it off. Naruto also revealed that he had mastered drawing a steady stream of Kyuubi's chakra. Jiraiya encouraged Naruto to attempt drawing more of Kyuubi's chakra, but they discovered that it didn't increase much from the steady flow he had already achieved. This led Jiraiya to believe that the changes in the seal had altered its original purpose of utilizing Kyuubi's chakra. To address the issue, Jiraiya summoned the key to the seal and attempted to loosen it slightly, but their efforts proved fruitless. They could only safely open the seal to its maximum extent, allowing Naruto to access up to one tael of Kyuubi's chakra. At least there is no risk of Naruto's mind being overtaken, Jiraiya consoled himself, finding solace in the fact that Naruto's mental state remained secure despite the limitations imposed by the modified seal. It may not seem much to Jiraiya, but Naruto's physical strength spiked after absorbing one tael's worth of energy. Naruto has to spend several days getting used to his increased physical stats. A few days before the exam, Naruto paid a visit to Inoichi, who conducted a thorough assessment of his foundational knowledge. Impressed with Naruto's understanding, Inoichi taught him 2 valuable techniques. The first technique involved the skill of sorting and categorizing memories, allowing Naruto to organize and store them more effectively, and conceal some memories deep within his mind. The second technique involved constructing a mental barrier to safeguard his thoughts and memories from unwanted intrusion. Although the techniques were initially crafted by the Yamanaka clan, Inoichi, being the clan head, permitted Naruto to learn them, as they were not limited to a specific bloodline. It would take much longer than a Yamanaka to master them. To achieve the complete deployment of the mental barrier, even during sleep, it would require several months or potentially even longer. Undeterred, Naruto dedicated his spare time to diligent practice. Determined to develop this crucial skill, Inoichi offered his support, assuring Naruto that he would address any inquiries or uncertainties along the way. He emphasized the importance of mastering the current stages before progressing to the subsequent ones, ensuring a solid foundation in each technique. With Kyuubi, following the loosening of the seal, Kurama was able to channel more of his chakra outward. While Naruto was in the one-tail mode, he could sense the presence of his energy in the surrounding environment. Although it felt somewhat diminished, surprisingly, after Naruto reverted from the one-tail mode, his chakra did not fully retreat into the seal. This unexpected development pleased Kurama, who believed that the seal was malfunctioning, causing leakage of his chakra into the outside world. Kurama also failed to recognize that it was solely spiritual energy being leaked. Taking advantage of this situation, Kurama intentionally augmented the amount of chakra steadily seeping through the seal, thereby assisting Naruto in enhancing his physical prowess daily.